Yo, the bracket is out. We got it right here. I'm gonna scream into the void my reactions. First and foremost, I'm annoyed with the committee. We'll talk about why I'm so annoyed with the stupid committee in a second. Before we get there, I'm gonna praise the committee. You ready? Two things the committee did really well. Thing number one, no snubs are outrageous at all. Everyone who didn't get in didn't really deserve to get in. Bruce Pearl's crying, yeah, Auburn, yeah. No one thinks Auburn. If you watch Auburn play this year, that's not a tournament team. Great. Everyone that got in deserved to get in. I wanted Miami of Ohio to like truly get in, but first four, I'll take it. And I'm so glad that the guy, like the analyst from the committee that said afterwards, we had them ahead of SMU and Texas, which is great. They deserve to be ahead of SMU and Texas for sure. That game's going to be incredible. I don't know if they can beat us. SMU is really athletic. They're like banged up and kind of thin. They don't have like the deepest bench right now, but SMU, Miami of Ohio, just pure athleticism, like human versus human doing athletics thing. SMU would like really, really, really win easily. So we'll see if Miami of Ohio's like scheme and ball movement and fundamentals and free throws can overcome it. I don't know. SMU can totally win that game. So either way, glad they got in. They deserve to. Good day for mid-majors all around the world, all around the country, that they got in. Thing number two, they did well. This is going to be a hell of a product for the American people. Like the games are going to be fire. It's not that predictable. There are certain things that feel quite predictable. We'll talk about it in a second. But overall, it's intriguing. There are a lot of phenomenal matchups. They're going to create a good product. So the committee, good job getting the right teams in, and good job making it a compelling product. Cool. Plaudits given. Now let's complain about the committee because they did a lot of shit that I really don't like. Thing number one, big picture. Arizona's road is way too difficult. That the guy said himself that he had Zona move up to the two overall, right? That they should be ahead of Florida and ahead of Michigan. You tell me why Florida's road will go something like, roughly, Lehigh, Iowa, or Clemson, Vanderbilt, maybe, or Nebraska. That's how they get to the Elite Eight. I know Vanderbilt just beat Florida, so, but compare that, okay, to Vanderbilt was at home, sort of. It was in Nashville. They're a good team, but that road compared to Long Island University, Utah State, Arkansas, or Wisconsin, and then they'll have a team like Gonzaga or Purdue. That's not fair. So I think they got absolutely porked. Zona did. Another thing I really hate. And this feels like a nitpick. It's out of the same region, but I really think it's messed up. I don't think it's a nitpick. I think it's really messed up. The Wisconsin versus High Point matchup is not fair for either team. Wisconsin has been like, I've been the type of guy to criticize Wisconsin over the year. I hate their style. I'm still salty. Yo, let me tell you this. I'm still salty that Wisconsin beat Kentucky back in like 2015. That allowed Duke to win the national title. If Kentucky had beaten Wisconsin in that Final Four, they would have beaten Duke. So I've been holding a grudge all these years against Wisconsin, and I hate the way they play in general. But this year, genuinely being fair, being someone who watches the fucking sport, they've proven that they've elevated the way they play. They're way more dynamic. They push the pace. They hit shots. They rebound like they always have. They play defense like they always have. I mean, they're a really balanced, dynamic team. How are they not just a five, but a five playing High Point, who's a tough 12? Like, I know that might sound ridiculous to say, but High Point is very good. Like, even last year, they can be, I think it was Gonzaga or someone they played. They played a quite good team and lost, but they competed in it. But regardless of previous years, High Point has got to be one of the most dynamic and explosive teams in all of mid-major college basketball. So I think it's really unfair that that's Wisconsin's role. And then they get Arkansas after that. Like that just feels, if Arkansas was a five seed, they would have had an easier road than having potentially Wisconsin in the second round and then Arizona after that. So it's unfair for all these parties involved. I just feel like the West region is a disaster. I feel like they really screwed the pooch with that. Again, back to what I said before, it's going to be compelling. Those are going to be incredible games. Wisconsin High Point will be an incredible game. Either one of them against Arkansas will be an incredible game. Um, I wanted to take Arkansas all the way. I wanted that to be like the upset pick, or at least to the Final Four. And then you're telling me Arkansas has to play Zona? How could anyone predict that? Um, I'm not going to get into the other thing I'm annoyed with. We'll just focus on those two. We'll just focus on the West region. I guess that's the one thing. Let's get into, okay, now I'm going to go each bracket. East, South, West, Midwest, and just two big reactions, two or three huge reactions for each thing. All right, thing number one. Oh, this is the thing that I don't like. Both Michigan and Duke, I don't see how they're going to lose. Like it just feels like you look at the bracket and it's like, all right, that's like so inevitable. Like either in the finals or like both of them sure to the final four, and then probably like a Michigan Duke final just feels kind of inevitable, like right away looking at this bracket. Like you're just like that, you know what I mean? And it's just like, ugh, that's so lame. Like we don't want that. I know that was a good game when they played, whatever. They're probably the two best teams, so it might be totally fair. But it's just annoying that it feels like the whole bracket is kind of set up for that to happen. And I'll get to why in some of the things. So we'll just start with the East. Like, who's going to give Duke a game? I mean, you would like to say Kansas could give Duke a game because Kansas obviously has a huge, huge ceiling. But anyone who's watched Kansas this year has seen why no one's going to even. I think a lot of people will pick Cal fucking Baptist over Kansas, if not St. John's over, right? Just because you can't trust Kansas to win to win two games in a row. Period. Let again against solid teams that are trying their hardest. Kansas, Peterson, Council, the Budinga, um, Bryson Tiller, White, like that. They're loaded, loaded. And they have one of the best coaches of all time, possibly. On paper, and at times, they look like a team that could win the national title. But then you actually watch it for like 7 straight minutes, and you just see like at least 2.5 minutes of like, Jesus Christ, I am not touching this team again. If you really pretend you had money on Kansas, you're watching them, you're like, oh my God, I regret taking Kansas immediately because of how they're playing. Just the vibes are off, something's up. I don't really know. I can't really put my finger on it. I don't know if it's Peterson behind the scenes is kind of a douchebag, and maybe the team's not like bought in, they're not united. I don't know if there's like animosity because of how much attention Peterson gets, and the other guys are like, yo, we're the ones who are carrying the squad. Like, we've done most of the work all year long. And then Peterson just like comes in and acts like he's the guy all the time. I don't know. That's just pure speculation. I pulled that right out of the rear end. No confidence that that's what's the case whatsoever, but just something's up with Kansas. So I don't see how they can get to the point where they get to even play Duke. If you just told me Kansas Duke is just happening, great, phenomenal. Can't wait for that game. That'll be so fun because Kansas would be up for that game. But if they just kind of are sleeping for 6 minutes against Cal Baptist, you saw how Cal Baptist. I don't know if anyone watched Cal Baptist last night beat. Oh my God, I'm blanking on who it was that they just beat. Utah Valley. Every possession Utah Valley had, the Cal Baptist defenders like it's like so intense, right in your face, like incredible rotation. Utah Valley could not get a bucket easily the entire game. Um, so yeah, I could just see Cal Baptist upsetting Kansas, and then I could see St. John's upsetting Kansas. So big takeaway there. Duke is just like in the Final Four. It's happening. UConn. Okay, I'll talk UConn, UCF second round. First of all, UCF over UCLA is one of the locks of the first round, I think, along with Utah State over Nova. Oh my God, Nova just lost to Georgetown by a lot. The Utah State is better than Georgetown in every single possible respect. So, I mean, seems easy to me that Utah State beats Nova. But anyway, UCF, UConn. UCF is a team with a high ceiling and a low floor. If you watched the UCF Cincinnati game by chance in the Big 12 tournament, you saw both sides of UCF. If you've seen UCF at any point this season, you may have seen them like beat BYU by 30 in Provo and look like, holy shit, UCF could be one of the most dangerous teams in the Big 12. Uh, and you've seen UCF get clobbered by teams like West Virginia or whatever. Like, so UCF is could go either way. You know, they could be phenomenal and compete with UConn, or UConn could win that game by 30 points. It makes me scared. Like I would love to pick UConn over Duke in the Elite Eight, but I could just see UCF upsetting UConn. And so for that reason, I can't confidently pick you. I do think UConn will beat Michigan State. I think that'll be a great game. USF, this is what I mean by the product's incredible. USF, Louisville, be a great game. USF, I think they beat Louisville. First Michigan State, incredible game. Incredible game. Michigan State could totally get upset by USF. I don't think they will, though. So I think we're going to have Michigan State, UConn in the sweet. I hope we get Michigan State, UConn in the sweet. I wouldn't want to see UCF upset UConn and deny us that game, though I think it could happen. But either way, it's going to be Duke. So Duke's out of the East. Let's go to the South. Florida, Houston, Elite Eight. What I mean, who's gonna be like? It's that's what it should be. Okay, that the national title game last year was incredible. Houston at home in their home city in the Elite Eight against the team that beat them in the national title by 2 points. This will probably be Calvin Sampson's last chance to win a national title, and it's going to be in his home city against the team that beat. I mean, not his home city, but what a what a storyline. That's going to be incredible. But it's annoying how obvious it seems that that's going to be the Elite Eight matchup. Anyway, Vanderbilt McNeese, what a ball game. McNeese is the type. I mean, I think I've picked McNeese in the first round 2 years in a row. It's amazing how they lost Will Wade and they kept the McNeese vibes going. Like shout out everybody affiliated with McNeese right now. Vanderbilt's a tough matchup for them. I think if you're picking McNeese over Vanderbilt, you better be doing it for a very specific reason. I mean, Vanderbilt just clapped Florida, dude. Like, come on. So I think Vanderbilt to the sweep is going to happen. Troy, Nebraska should be a good game. I don't think either team can beat Vanderbilt. So yeah, Vanderbilt, Florida should then we'll get a rematch of that game in the in the Sweet 16. So that will be fun. But I just don't see Florida losing them again. So but that'll be fun. All right, Florida Vanderbilt Sweet 16. That'll be a good time. Um, love. Hey, I like the Tar Heels. So I'm annoyed that I'll say we. They're not like my number one team, so I'm not going to say we. But whatever. UNC getting VCU in the first round feels very annoying because I think VCU is going to win. And I wanted to pick UNC making a wee run and surprising people, but you can't. I can't go against VCU. And then the Illini, oof, tough matchup. So I think Illini are gonna pretty much coast. Actually, I'd say Illini to the Sweet is a coast. Houston versus Illinois should be a good game, but think Houston. Think Houston. So yeah, Houston, Florida. That's gonna happen in the South. Toss-up game. It'll be a very close game. Anything can happen. I'd shift to the West. I already said Utah State over Nova is my lock of that. And then I get so annoyed by this Wisconsin High Point game. What are you guys gonna do? If anyone's actually watching this, I don't know. Comment like, what are you gonna do with Wisconsin High Point and then Arkansas, Wisconsin? I'm stuck. I wanted to pick Arkansas making the run, but Wisconsin has been so impressive this year. Uh, I don't know. And then winner of that plays Arizona. Such a shame, but it's going to be amazing basketball. BYU versus Gonzaga. What a matchup. BYU, it's like easy to say, oh, they've slept on since the Saunders injury. They really haven't been the same, though they've showed flashes of being phenomenal. They just haven't been the same since the injury. So I'm inclined to take Gonzaga there, but I don't want to. I don't want to take Gonzaga over BYU whatsoever. But I might have to. Missouri over Miami should be, I'm not going to say locky, but they should beat Miami. And then Missouri could upset Purdue, though I don't think they will. I think this is the year. Take out of the West. I'll just make this the take. This is the year Purdue doesn't get upset. Usually it's like pick against Purdue. This time, I think Purdue is fine against Missouri, can beat Zaga or BYU, and then gets to that Elite Eight matchup against Arkansas or Arizona. Um, Probably doesn't beat either one. Someone in the CBS bracket show had Purdue in the Final Four, and I'm like, I could see it. I normally would say that's so stupid, but this year I could kind of see it. The Fletcher Lawyer, Smith, Kaufman, Wren, like they're playing really good basketball now. They weren't for a lot of the year, so I don't know. The West is a fucking tough region to pick, but it'll be great basketball. Let's finish up with the Midwest, and once again, it seems like Michigan, ISU, 1 versus 2 feels pretty inevitable. Um, a lot of people are going to pick Santa Clara to beat Kentucky. I don't think they will. I think Iowa State, Kentucky end up being a really, really good game, but Iowa State will be better, much better defensive team. That'll carry them. The whole Tennessee, Virginia pod. I mean, what a pod. Anything can happen. Wright State could beat Virginia, or Virginia could coast. I could see Virginia coasting with both Wright State and Tennessee. Or if it's Miami of Ohio or whatever it is, SMU, I think Tennessee, Tennessee is going to struggle with Virginia. I tend to like Tennessee, but Virginia is going to give them a lot of trouble. So there's just going to be chaos for everyone, and it's going to affect everyone but Michigan and Iowa State as Michigan, St. Louis, or Georgia. Come on, they'll be fine. And then they'll be fine against the whole Akron, Texas Tech thing is very interesting. Bama, they'll beat Hofstra, I'm pretty sure. One of them picked Hofstra on Come on, do you really think Hofstra beats Bama? You pick that. I'm not going to pick Hofstra. But am I going to pick Bama to beat either Akron or Texas Tech? I don't really feel like I can. Bama doesn't feel like it's it this year. I've liked everything Nate Oates has done since he's arrived in Tuscaloosa. But let me tell you, this year Bama just doesn't feel right with Bama this year. No analytical reason for it. Just doesn't feel right. They've just looked so beatable at times throughout the year. They've shown like that Bama Arkansas game. They showed you how good they can be. But I'm not believing in Bama whatsoever. So I might have Akron. Doesn't feel right. It looks like that you see Akron in the suite. It's like, I don't know about that. But it's going to be a hell of a tournament. Have fun, folks. Don't bet too much. Whatever you do, don't bet a lot of money on these games because anything can happen. There's going to be things that shouldn't happen happening. Peace.